Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. I need to change the video resolution. I don't even know what that means. Why is Arena taking so long to load? I'm just gonna force close it. Let's restart. All right. All right. So stream number 2. I always like to check the daily deals. Never know what's going on. Anyway. Alright. So, this is what we're working with right now. Still working on mono white. And that's the sideboard. I haven't added the Myrexes yet that I'm seeing pop up in whitelists online. But specifically, I think that's just good for making additional material. It'll help insulate any of the creatures against Invoke Despair. I don't know how good the tokens are, but when you're building your deck just to hit land drops and just put a land into play every turn, the tokens every turn are likely fairly good. I think I'm going to replace the Lion Sashes and go back to Hearse, just because it doesn't commit mana. The Sashes are better off the Restoration of Vygonia because I can use them the same turn. I can't use the Hearse the same turn. But I think just the fact that the Hearse does it for free and doesn't require holding up mana all the time and isn't a creature all the time is likely just a better answer for Graveyard Hate. So we're going to get rid of those Sashes and go back to the Hearses. Yeah, there. Okay. We are on the Elishnorns specifically. That's what we're trying with this particular build. Is that we're trying Elishnorn because I think the 3 best decks are mono white, Grixis, and some sort of red white Invoke Justice deck. The Grixis deck is, I'm noticing a bit of an uptick in Blade Coil Serpent, which I think was super underappreciated for a really long time and underplayed for what it can do, especially in a Grixis deck. And a handful of other things in the Grixis deck also have entered the battlefields, which some are minor, like Blood Tithe Harvester, but some are pretty important, like Corpse Appraiser. It doesn't affect Shieldred, but that's okay because some of our effects are just so good with Elesh Norn, doubling them up, that it offsets the fact that both the Elesh Norn is fairly fragile in the matchup, where it dies to Go for the Throat, and doesn't impact Shieldred. The fact that we're just going to get double triggers off of Lauren and Ossification and Farmhand, I think, are good enough reasons. We're back on trying Sarah Paragon as well. We were trying it the other night, but I think I just need more things that'll recycle the best cards in my deck, which I've identified as Bankbuster and Announcement, more or less. Restoration of Igandra to some extent as well. Which, when I played it in Legacy the other night, was actually pretty good. Just putting a card in your hand, I've managed to put Mother of Runes and Field of Ruin into play from the graveyard as well. And it flipped into a relevant attacker twice, including in matchups that I didn't think it would, like Elves. But that's different. That's a different story. I still think I might want the 4th Wandering Emperor, but I don't want to go too high on 4s because I don't want to just get too flooded on them. Wandering Emperor is very good to insulate us, just sitting on the battlefield, because the first turn the Wandering Emperor enters the battlefield, I think, is the most important, where it either is just going to swing combat by giving something first strike, or exiling a tapped creature, likely attacking. And then it just gets to do smaller effects after that, likely. I think the fact that it just sits around on the battlefield is lower value after the turn it comes down makes it really good to insulate our better Planeswalkers of Eternal Wanderer and Elspeth Resplendent in the Invoke Despair matchups, which are likely Grixis. Going back to the Elesh Norn, I'm playing it in the main to try and have a better game 1 against what I perceive to be the 3 best decks. And then it can come out against any of the more aggressive decks, but that's also why I'm so high on all 4 laydown arms, which I've seen some people going down lower on them, like 3 copies. But I don't really want to sacrifice my aggro matchups game 1. What else? Oh, Sunset Revelry is for the aggressive matchups, but I don't think it actually does everything and does as much as it could against things like Mono Blue, or even the blue-white deck that can give all its creatures. There's a blue-white gold card. It's a soldier. It gives your soldiers flying when they attack. I think Sunset Revelry just doesn't do enough in that matchup. And if I'm not bringing it in against like all of the aggressive decks, and I'm only bringing it in against the red deck, I think I'm going to change the Sunset Revelry to the red hate card. It's a removal spell from Capenna. Deals 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature, gain 2 life, cost 2 less if it targets a red creature. Where's that at? It's like where is it? It's 3 mana total. Someone punching someone else in the face. Where is it? Alright. I'm gonna filter. There it is. Knockout blow. I think this is going to be better just at respecting the red decks, but also could probably come in against the mono white deck and also against soldiers. Gaining life and killing a guy is pretty good, but against the mono blue deck specifically, it hits the Jin, the star 4 flyer, that reduces the cost of instants and sorceries you cast, and the power is equal to the instants and sorceries in your graveyard. I think this is potentially good against them. It's not ideal, but I think I'm going to need a card like this in the red matchup more. And that's what its initial intent is, or its original intent. I think it's just good splash damage. So... we are going to try some ranked with this. See how it goes. I didn't add the Myrexes yet because I don't really know where to add them. It might be cutting a Mishra's Foundry, which is a little awkward because they're pretty good in multiples, but they are kind of mana intensive to activate repeatedly. Not that the Myrex isn't, but I think the fact that once you activate it, you get the body forever, or at least until it dies. I'm just wondering how good the mites actually are. And tab out to look at chat. Paragon underappreciated. Yeah. I think so. I think it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good on its face, but I think you have to cast it at the correct time. But I think it's going to be really important in just, like, repeatedly using the cards that matter the most. Is a trade-off of worse mana base, losing laydown arms, or splashing red for Fable of Braid? I don't know. I think those are... I'm going to keep this. I have a turn 2 play, turn 3, and then turn 4 I can hold up Bankbuster or just cast Emperor. I'm not sure. I think at that point, if I'm splashing red, I'm going to be trying to move towards the Invoke Justice stack. I don't think just red-white mid-range might be good enough, but I could be wrong. It could just be... I think laydown arms scales really well versus, like, the other potential one-mana removal that I would have to use instead, which would be, like, Strangle. Maybe one-mana removal just isn't very great. I'm thinking. This looks like the black-red Saga Reanimator deck. What do I want to do here? So I'm definitely playing a Plains, and I'm either doing Wedding Announcement or Lauren. Lauren kills the Fable and prevents them from rummaging. Wedding Announcement gets started. I think Wedding Announcement is good at basically any point in the game. I think I can't let them rummage Atraxa away, potentially with Fable. I think I just need to Lauren the Fable. So I think enabling that draw is just them potentially unlocking the card in their hand is too poor. And I can't... both of my options... Okay, so it is Jund. Which I think is, like, a pretty dark horse pick in the format right now. Because it has a lot of good cards in it. Looks like they're just having some problems with their mana getting the green. The Gliss is really good, but this, I think, is just a turn where I'm going to hold up Wandering Emperor, exile the Glissa, and then do Wedding Announcement. So they're not an Atraxa deck. Or I assume that Atraxa deck. I think I just do this now. I don't think there's a lot of downside to letting them have the treasure first, but I don't think there's a point to let them have the treasure first. Invoke Despair. Okay, so killing the Emperor, which is fine. And they needed the 5th. They needed the treasure for the 5th mana, it looks like. Either that or they just had the Black Liquids. Okay, so here we're just going to play Plains. Farm hand that I should have played first to get the Plains. And then Wedding Announcement. Hopefully they don't have second Invoke. So this way I can keep the Wedding Announcement. But this is also why we're back on Sacred Paragon. After playing its Invoke a few times over the course of the last few nights. Okay, so here's another Fable. I've drawn the Lauren. Do I double block here? Likely no. There's 2 Fable tokens now. I think that they just have all the mana that they need. There's the 0/3 that we talked about earlier. What do I do here? This might just be a clear-cut Eternal Wanderer, let them have the 0/3, keep an Ambitious Farmhand. So I'm definitely playing this. And then I think I let them rummage, because they have so few cards in their hand at this point. But they're already, like, strapped for options, and their filtering is just so much worse. And I think that they can set up a hand with the rummaging worse, with few options in hand. So it might just be this. The Scrap Forger is really annoying, though, because it does start eating my graveyard for the Seraph Aragon.
And we all live with our lives.
It might have been... Choose a creature. I'll choose this one, and then you can have this one. It might have been correct for me to attack with both tokens there, or both creatures there, so this way I would get a card off Wedding Announcement instead of getting a token. But maybe the token is just better at protecting the Eternal Wanderer. So this might have been the correct play anyway. Yeah. Wanderer also can... If they play a Bankbuster or something here, and that's like their best draw, what do they discard? They discarded... Oh, this card's good. This is one of the reasons I think you play John. 7 to a guy, and then excess, you destroy. Yeah, so it just gets rid of the Wedding Announcement too. This is one of the reasons I think you play John. It lines up so well, it hits almost everything in the format. 7 damage is just so much, any excess, just the way things are sizing up in the format, it seems like to me. It just lets you kill 2 things. It's very good. I don't want to use the laydown arms yet, I don't think. But I'm trying to decide if I want to use the Lauren. I think I'm going to have to kill the Fable at some point anyway, and I think the Lauren lines up better, and the laydown arms is going to line up better down the line against a Shieldred. So we're going to go to combat, I'm going to attack. I'll get in my pit and some damage. I'm going to cast my 2/1. I'm going to shatter the Fable. And then I don't want to get Blade Coil Serpented. So, and I don't want to lose everything, and if they cast Blade Coil, they're going to be able to get both cards anyway, because they'll be able to go black, 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 and then red, red. Only card for laydowns. Protect my... Yeah. I don't think I can reasonably protect the graveyard. This is going to become... I think I just attack again here. It doesn't look like they have anything. Post-combat, I can try to draw a card. I don't know who that benefits more, though. It might benefit me because I get to untap with 8 mana. Yeah, they're just going to block. I think I go for a card here. Alright, cool. Got the Bankbuster. Alright. Play my land. It might have been correct to hold it, because... It might have been correct to hold the land there, because now if they go black, 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 black... I don't know. It would have insulated me down the line if I just continued to hold the land. Cycling... Okay, so they're flooding out pretty hard. Between the mana guy, cycling 2 Triomes, and they still have 8 lands. Alright, they got a Glissa. And they're going to get a 3/3 here. We're going to let this resolve. And I can't do anything about the Glissa. The Tyvar is cool. I've seen this showing up in some of the Jund lists as well. We'll let the Scrap Forger activate soon. This will make a thrilling tale. I don't think it buys back... Oh, it buys back Blood Tithe Harvester too, so they might be on... Untap, so this way they can attack with 3/3. That's pretty good.
There's that second wind.
pass to attacks. I'll draw a card off the Bank Buster at the end of the turn. They must think I have a Wanderer, which is good, because I don't. Elishnor. So, I think... What am I going to do here? I'm going to use the Lay Down Arms on the Glissa. I'm trying to decide if I want to get the Tyvar off the table. If I do something to the Scrap Forger, I have to get the Tyvar off the table, or else it's going to come back and just continue to be really annoying. But it's actually not that bad. The Glissa is a pain in the ass, though, and I do have to get rid of that. So I think I'm going to start with drawing a card, let them play Coil Circle if they do it. And then Lay Down Arms the Glissa. It might have been correct for me to crew the Bank Buster here, actually, and attack the Tyvar. Make him block with the Scrap Forger. That might have been a much better way to go about this turn. And then I just need a lot of mana, so I'm going to play this out. I feel decently ahead, at least. Tyvar's not important enough to attack and suicide some creatures in. I'll let him continue to pretend that he has a Scavenging Ooze or whatever we're going to call this, or Death Ray Shaman. This is fine, he's going to hit a Blood Tithe Harvester.
Your story's not finished yet.
No blood, though. Alright, so we're building up the oil counters. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't do anything to my graveyard, actually. Yeah, that's fine. I think at the end step I'm going to give us both a card. And just hope I don't draw a, what's it called? Unleash the Inferno. I got an I got you, which is pretty good to me. So, what am I going to do here? I can transform the farmhand, which means the farmhand and the type, I can attack with 3 creatures into this. They can choose whether to kill the Lauren. So... I think I want to get the Tyvar off the table, because any other attempts to get rid of the Tyvar I think is going to result in the Blood Tithe Harvester dying and getting to come back, even though it's fairly low impact with the Elishnor play. Combat. Elishnor really kind of damages that Blood Tithe Harvester. We're going to... I think just attack here and attack here. I do kind of want to get the Tyvar off the table. Transform here, gain a little life back. If I activate Bank Buster, find a Wandering Emperor, I can kind of make this combat a little more favorable, but I don't already think this is unfavored. Just get rid of the Tyvar.
What a grand
Gonna
fight.
play Gonjo, get Plains, play a Plains, pass. Alright, shield. Oh. Alright, well I shouldn't have hit accept there. I'm trying to type out and look at chat. I should have drew a card in response to that. But that's okay. Okay, so... if they're using the mana now... Alright, so now I just have to eat my mistake. And that's fine. And I will draw my card. Whenever I draw a card, lose life. Yes. Okay. So here I'm going to discard the planes. If they want to use the scrap order, they can, but they're down a blocker. Is that worth it? I don't think so. I do want to get rid of the Shieldred, though, so I'm probably going to play Wander and Wrath. I don't think that's good, though. But I want to do it before the Restoration flips, so this way I'm going to end up with more creatures. I think I'm going to decline this. Now I'm going to play this. Yeah. Wanderer can hold down one scrap order also pretty indefinitely.
I've made it just in
Just
time.
by repeatedly blinking it. I also get to reset the Bank Buster. I think I'm gonna do this. I'll keep this. You can keep this. I'm going to enter combat. I'm gonna attack with everybody. Alright. Alright, another cycle. It's fine. So now because... That's pretty good. So now because I did the Emperor first while the Restoration was on 2, I'm gonna actually get to flip this without losing it to the Emperor. Has to attacks. Go to my turn. I'm gonna get another creature. I'm going to... I think I'm going to go to combat attack. I'm going to attack with this. I'm going to let those two things, the mana creatures, hang out. It might have been correct for me to attack with the Bank Buster. I don't think so. I think I want the rest of the Architect to block so we can defend my Wanderer through removal. Because then it's just kind of dead. Elishnorn just dies to go for the throat off the top. And now I get the Bank Buster back, I get to reset it. Which is pretty cool. I haven't gotten to do that yet. They can discard one card, that's fine. Must have been good. Invoke Despair is pretty good. So I'm going to sacrifice the Architect for my creature so I can keep the Elishnorn. I'm going to draw a card first, just to see what I get. Foundry. I can sacrifice the Bank Buster, actually. I think I will, because I want to keep both of these. I'm going to lose the Planeswalker regardless, but I think I want to just keep 2 Vigilance creatures in play. The Bank Buster might have more value, but I'm trying to end the game. Okay, well I also messed up because I forgot I have to sacrifice the enchant. I'm glad I'm doing this here, as opposed to anywhere else. That's fine, I'm not losing life, and they're not drawing cards, so they might be okay regardless. And I get to set up 2 4-power attackers next turn. I think the worst case scenario here is they draw Tyvar off the top. Go to my turn. Alright, so there's the Sarah Paragon. And I can play a Bank Buster. I think... How can I do this? I don't want to play the Farewell and just exile enchantments. I think I want to play the Foundry and attack with the first Foundry. I'm gonna go to combat. Now I'm going to pump the Foundry, try and make it a 4/4, and hope they don't have a Braid. That's fine. I'm gonna play Paragon, Restoration. Go get a Plains. I'm gonna pass. They can't do anything too big with the Reflection. We've used way more clock time. So I want the Elspeths, because it's a mid-range matchup, and I want the Destroy Evils, I think. Because it's a Shieldred Fable matchup. I'm not entirely sure if I want the Cathar. It might be fine. It might not be good enough, though. I didn't see any Bankbusters that game. I think they still play them, though. I get to lose some of the lay-down arms here. Usually only pretty good in the more aggressive matchup. We might just cut them all and try and lean on Destroy Evil for killing Shieldreds, potentially Fables. So I think that's going to be good. I haven't seen enough Jund lists. I know they did decently well, I think, in an event or two last weekend. I'm not sure if it's better than Grixis, but I think it has a decent amount of good cards. I have a feeling that Tyvar is just going to get better over time, in Standard at least, and then also impact other formats potentially. But right now it seems like it works best with Devoted Druid and Fiend Artisan and Priest of Forgotten Gods. But it's really good with those. I'm on the draw. I need to draw any land in my deck, and I can start moving along with Restoration. I have an Ossification. Hopefully I don't get to rest. I think I keep this. It just can go pretty long, and I'm very close to just hitting lands for the rest of the game. I think I'm going to keep it. It's definitely an aggressive keep, and I wouldn't do it on the play. I think I can only do it on the draw. I don't think I Ossification this. I want to use the Ossification on a token.
Share in my glory.
Yes, yeah, Fauna Shaman is in the same format, that's true, I forgot about that. Take action, get a Plains, play a Plains. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I don't think we have enough good stuff for a Fauna Shaman deck yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if something came along in the next however many months of Standard. In the next set, even. Anything can really be in the next set with Marching Machines being on every plane. Alright, I have 3 lands and I'm getting invoked.
Show them what you're made.
Hopefully I don't get the rest. So we're just going to keep attempting to hit lands. I think I'm going to play the Restoration here. And then try and set up the wedding announcement after that. As long as I can keep putting lands into play, eventually, once the wedding announcement inevitably dies, the Sarah should be able to get back. Sarah Paragon. At the rate this scrap order's going, though, that's not looking too likely. Alright. So we're getting to rest, and I think the choice is pretty difficult. I think it's just the wedding announcement they take. Because I think it's just likely the better card. Oh, they're taking the Wandering Emperor. Okay. So they must have a way to beat the ossification on the Shieldred. Right?
Take my hand.
Well, I've drawn a card. I'm going to... What am I doing here? I'm playing Farmhand, Plains, Wedding Announcement, so I want to cast the Ossification, but I'm not going to be able to. So I think I'm going to discard the Ossification, cheat it into play. Because I don't want to play the Elish on this turn. So we're going to do this. We're going to return it. We're going to hope that they don't exile the Scrap Forger that I forgot about. But that's... I'm going to pretend it's fine. Because we can make it up. Maybe. We're gonna get the announcement rolling. Tyvar is at 3, which means they can -2 if they want to try and hit something blind. Alright. Alright, do I block this? I am running low on life, and I don't think the humans are going to be doing much else. I think I want to keep the farmhand around a little longer. But am I not? I'm never going to be able to play it off the Sarah Paragon at the rate we're going. I think I'm going to use the next token to block Shieldred. I'm going to use the Igonjo to deal damage to the Scrap Forger. And hope I draw a land. I'm going to get a 3-4, which is actually going to block the Scrap Forger. So I think I'm just going to take the 3, block the 4. I'm going to continue to lose life to the Shieldred too, which is annoying. There's the Blood Tithe Harvester. Maybe it's correct that I just used the... I don't know why you would untap that.
I believe in you, friend.
They must have a reason. I think it would... I don't think I thought this turn out ahead enough. Because I didn't think about the Saga flipping and just playing a land. I think I am supposed to use the Wanderer this turn to just leave them with a Blood Tithe. Because I think I need to get the Scrap Forger off the table. I'm definitely playing this. Yeah, I think I want to leave them with the Blood Tithe. I need to get rid of the Tyvar at the end of the day here. So I think I'm going to play the Wanderer. I think I just have to do something to especially get Shieldred off the table, because that's going to clock me very hard.
You live because I
And I
allow it.
think... I'm trying to decide if I leave them with the Blood Tithe. Oh, untap to play around Emperor, that's true. I think I'll leave them with the Gorger. Because if they -2 on the with the Tyvar to get the Gorge... Okay, no, I didn't do that right. The set of games is horrible, because I'm playing horribly. I think I wanted to leave them with the Harvester, because I didn't want them to -2 to get it back with the Tyvar and get them an extra blood. It doesn't really... Yeah. Their draw seemed like it lined up really well, and mine was a little slow. I don't think I'm out of the game yet, but I think I'm letting a lot of points slip just by playing pretty badly and not thinking everything through. Okay, so they cut down, so they get to kill the Wanderer now? This is really tough to beat.
Sow the seeds of perfection into the flesh of the multiverse. Dissent will be cut off at the root.
You've got this.
Okay. Yeah, the Jund deck looks really good. I can play Elishnorn here. And I still get to channel Iganjo if they attack. At least Elishnorn's looking good.
Our strength multiplies.
Alright, they're gonna get another Scrap
We can
Forger.
win.
I wonder if that deck wants something like the Filigree Silex, just to suck all the counters off of the Scrap Forger. Okay, well, this is kind of cool. I get to just ossification both of those? Do I attack? So all of my... So I want to get the Planeswalkers off the table, so ossification actually just lets me get both of them. Am I dead to attacks then? I get to block a 3/3. Block a 3/3, shoot something with Iganjo. Do I have to actually exile Nissa Gorger? I think I have to exile Nissa Gorger to not die, play a blocker. I think I might just be dead. I think if I attack here, if they try to just block everything, I get to Iganjo? I think I'm supposed to hit Harvester? Kill both Harvesters? I don't think sitting back was going to benefit me at all. I don't think I could have exiled both creatures because then I still have a bunch. But here I can play Sarah. Iganjo as a land. And then Ossification. I get to block both of these. Do I get rid of Nissa or Tyvar? Nissa just gets to unlock the Ossification anyway and stick around, so I think I have to get her. Just block a 3/3.
I've delayed you long enough.
So Tyvar can use Blood Tithe Harvester here.
Share in my glory.
Make a token now because I don't have Elishnorn. Make the Paragon small. I have to block one. It does give me another turn though. But what does that matter? Nothing to draw there. Okay, so I lost that because I played bad. I don't think I want any of the sideboard cards again. I think I just have to play better. Undervaluing the Sword Splash shares in sideboard and Gorgers. Yeah, the Gorgers are a lot more impactful. That might just be like a bad heuristic I'm working with, in that the laydown arms are only for aggro matchups. I think it might just be, you're correct, that I might just need to leave that in. We'll see how this ends up going. So I think this format's really good. I think there's just a lot of valuable options overall. That it's really getting difficult to pick a deck. I'll keep this on the play. I have the farmhand wedding announcement. It seems pretty good to me. A little heavy on Wanderers. I wish I could play 4, but even 3 feels a little heavy at times. Not gonna play the Foundry yet. I'm just gonna try and get as many planes into play as possible. Yeah, it does feel like I'm giving up the reason when I'm cutting the late on arms so aggressively. It feels like I'm giving up the reason to play just mono white. Gonna play this, gonna play announcement, pass. Checks. The Bloodtide Harvester is just so much better than what I thought it was originally, in that it was just originally I thought it was getting dressed. Like one of those uncommon signpost cards for limited. I don't think I block you. It's just a very good clock, like 2 mana, 3 power. Play Foundry. If I attack, I get a card off the wedding announcement. But all these these 3/2s, if I just continue to make a token every turn, are going to end up trading really well when I have the backside. I'm just going to leave this. No attacks, just continue to make tokens. On their combat in the following turn, once the announcement flips and makes another token, I'm probably going to start trying to trade off tokens for Harvesters. But here, I think I'm just going to go to 11. These are the sequences of draws where I'm trying to use Wedding Announcement. Human tokens from Wedding Announcement that are pumped to trade with Harvesters later. It puts me really low, so this way the Shieldreds kill me. Go to my turn. Right side Relic Warrior. Hopefully... I think I'm just going to play Elshorn here, try and untap and use Ossification on whatever they play. Hopefully it doesn't involve a... go for the throat at the end of my turn. They might just want to use the blood to filter their draw. I don't really think I can hold the Elishnorn forever. I think this might just be a situation where I have to make them have to go for the throat. I'm gonna assume that they do, but I can't play around it forever. I don't even know if it's great in this matchup. It might be worth it for Sarah on their side for Sarah Paragon, Elishnorn entirely. Interesting. I think they missed a land the previous turn as well. Okay, so they're invoked. So I'm going to sacrifice a token. I'm going to sacrifice Festivity, and then I'm going to lose 2. And they're going to get a card. They can't really attack here anymore, though. Okay. I think I can pretty aggressively use this Ossification now. Because now it just clears out both Bloodtithe Harvesters, and if I get... Just making sure I'm targeting correctly. And I can try and get aggressive, because I don't have anything else to do. Have the second Ossification. If they invoke me again, then I still get to keep the Elishnorn. I sacrifice the Ossification. They get the Harvesters. They don't get additional blood. Alright, well there's the Go for the Throat. There's the Duress. They can't take it all. Now is the situation where the Invoke Despair is really poor. For me. But I don't really think I can play around it forever. I want to animate the Foundry here and attack, but I also don't want to play into an Abrade or a Cut Down, which I think would be the worst case scenario, because now that I've drawn the farmhand, I actually can find the 6th land, play the Wanderer, and if I let the Foundry die, I'm so far off the Wanderer. So I think I'm just going to attack for 3. Alright, there's the Cut Down. Post, we're going to use whatever. We're going to play Farmhand. We're going to go get the plains. And then we're going to play it. To know about everything on our hand. Pass. Oh, they're looking at the blood. They're gonna dig. So the card in their hand is kind of 50-50, it seems like, if they're looking to potentially discard it to the blood. They know about the Ossification, so it might be a Fable, and they might have been considering throwing it away because the Ossification takes up the token, the Foundry jumps up, and then I have 5 power. Lesser attacks. Go to my turn. Okay. They're at 5. I think they have an Abrade. So I think I'm just going to go to combat. Attack for 3. Yeah, I think they have. Yeah, they have the Abrade, so they're going to kill the Farmhand. They were really hoping I was going to animate the Foundry, but instead I'm playing a little safer, and I'm going to play the Wanderer. Good damage, and I'm just going to make it 2/2.
Try to best me, if you can.
It's a couple turns slower, but it is kind of... Okay, there we go. They're on absolutely nothing. They have 2 redraws, but they can only ever do something with 1 card. If I get invoked, I sacrifice a token, I take 4, they're almost entirely tapped out, and then they still die to the Samurai. Here we are filtering, Children's not enough. Discard a land. Play a land. Good game. Yeah, I think I might just be too aggressively setting out laydown arms, and I'm just getting buried under some of these, like, little threats that aren't worth, necessarily, some of the more versatile removal spells. Or that can't be handled in other ways. Yeah, that's true. The laydown arms also hits Shieldred super well. And yeah, an Ossification isn't super reliable. Hmm. There's so few creatures, I wonder if the Myrexes are worth it just to keep some of the better ones around that might die to invoke. Like Elishnorn and Sarah Paragon at the backside of Igonjo? I'm not entirely sure. I don't even know if I have any. And I don't want to use a wild card yet if I'm unsure. Oh goody, I have 2. Of course I opened 2. And they use the worst might token art. Okay. After I'm done playing some Arena, I think I'm going to go watch this week's episodes of anime. And then maybe a movie. I was going to watch a movie last night, but I got home pretty late from FNM. I've heard... someone recommended me Everything Everywhere All at Once last night. And I've only heard good things about it, so I'm probably going to watch some of that. Foundry didn't look super great. Could Myrex be better? It's possible. It also generates white the turn it comes down. Which is not insignificant. Especially on some of my like more sketchy hands, where I need additional white sources. And with the Phyrexian Vindicators in the sideboard. Yeah, maybe if I'm considering going down to 3 Foundry, then maybe 3 Myrex is just better. This hand's very slow, but I'm going first. I don't think I would keep this on the draw. I think I can only keep this on the play, where I can play Igonjo before they get to play, theoretically, their Fable. So I'm going to keep it. It's also on the blind. I really like this Narset art. I really think all of the War of the Spark. Anime walkers were really good. I think there's some art in that set of cards that is a little medium. But for the most part, it's all great. Odawara. This might be the tempo deck. The mono blue deck. Or Grixis. It could just be Grixis starting with Odawara. Very strange draw. Maybe that's why they're on a mulligan. Hopefully this doesn't get tagged with Make Disappear or Negate. Both of those I think are... Well, the Make Disappears definitely show up in the main. Negate I think is like a reasonable 1 or 2 of in the main. So it's very possible. Fortunately we have the Aganjo, and we kept a 4-land hand. They might be weighing the option of negating this versus negating a potential Wandering Emperor the following turn, or Make Disappearing some 4-mana card that I could play, like Sarah Paragon. I think this is better to resolve for me, though. If they play anything remotely reasonable that I care about, I can just cheat an Ossification into play. Restoration of Iganjo getting to pick back up a Mother of Runes was very good last night. I thought that was really cool. We're going to discard a Plains and put a Plains into play. And then I'm going to play Plains. I think it's fairly clear that they have some type of counterspell. I don't have anything I can gain off of the Sarah Paragon, so I think I'm just going to hold the Wandering Emperor up and hope that I can do something with it. I especially don't want to play Sarah Paragon into a Make Disappear, get it countered, and then play Corpse Appraiser and exile it. Siphon Insight's pretty good. I'm wondering if they have a Spell Pierce. Oh, this only looks at the top 2 cards. I thought it looked at the top 3. I don't think I play the Wandering Emperor now. Maybe I'll let them pick first. Turn on control. I think I hold it. I think I just let them go. Cards in exile. Oh, I can't even click on it. Oh, because they played it. They needed lands. Okay. So attacks. Go to my turn. I think I don't think I have to do anything here. I think I'm just gonna play a land and pass. They're probably gonna flashback the Siphon Insight looking for another of my lands. Oh, they just have one from hand, which means they get to hold up Negate / Make Disappear here. If it's Make Disappear the Wandering Emperor, I can sneak it in here. If it's not... I think I'm just going to make a Samurai.
Run away. You'll be safer.
Siphon Insight is strangely...
May your blade strike
I don't know, with the laydown arms, Siphon Insight's just so strange. I'm making a Samurai before they pick because the way priority works on Arena, I don't want to lose my opportunity to even use the Planeswalker at all. Yeah, that's true. On the Myrex versus Foundry thing that I just saw your message. Yeah, I can always cut to play 2 Myrex, do the 2-2 split. At least I'll be able to see when the Myrex shows up. Okay, so they're playing Ossification, I guess, to get rid of my Wandering Emperor.
See you
Okay.
later.
Wandering Emperor under one of these Oblivion Ring or Journey to Nowhere style effects is really interesting because you get to use it immediately if you ever blow up the the ossification even on their turn. As I draw Lauren of the third path. And with Sarah Paragon, the ossification, that when I blow it up with Lauren, will go to my graveyard and I can cast it later. So we're going to go to combat. We're going to attack. I have to play a little faster because this is probably going to be a 3-game match. Children's Edict, sacrifice a non-token creature. Sure. Attack with Samurai. I think they would have just... If I cast Lauren there, they would have just Children's Edicted with the Lauren on the stack, so I still would have lost the Restoration. But that's fine, because if I ever draw another land, I can go Sarah Paragon Restoration and put that back on the table. I might want to stick just an Eternal Wanderer here. They're pretty behind, and this is like a pretty significant clock, and getting a 6-mana card through Counter Magic I think is pretty good.
Show them the edge of your blade!
I'm inclined to think that they're a deck with counter spells because they're playing instant speed Siphon Insight spells and Children's Edicts. Alright, so there's Cruelty of Gix. Oh, that's the reanimate thing. So yeah, they're going to look at this. They're going to probably take the Paragon here. This is just super awkward for them in general because I have Lauren. If they take Lauren, I can Sarah Paragon, draw a land. So they're desperately hoping that they can hit that tutor chapter. I'm gonna draw a card, try and hit a land. There it is. Play it. I'm gonna attack them. I don't think I want to use Wanderer to reset Bank Buster here, but I could. Just to continually attempt to draw more cards, or I can just continue to clock them. So attacks, attack with everybody. I think I might just want to make another token for now. I'm gonna pass. They're gonna lose 3 life off of this as well, so this is clocking them even faster. Grim Tutor is a rough chapter when you're being attacked with double strikers. I think it's Grim Tutor. Yeah, starting with the discard on Gix, they must either completely think they're dead to something in my hand, or think that they can make this game go longer, which implies to me that they either have a Shieldred that they can put into play, or a Wrath. They might just be hoping that discard, look at what my options are. Once they tutor, they can figure out if they want to Wrath me, or if they want to do something better, I guess. It's very, very difficult. I'm thinking a graveyard. Do they think that they can find Shieldred here, stabilized by buying something disposable back? They might just get... Oh, they can't even cast Invoke Despair here unless they play Blackland. Because Invoke Despair here would be pretty good. It would be better than nothing, I think. And I have no creatures in graveyard either. They might just be running out the clock. This might actually only be a 1-game match. Okay, so we're going to bring in the Elspeths against this effectively mid-range mirror and the Destroy Evils. I think in this matchup I can cut a couple laydown arms because they didn't have the early kind of snowballing threat like the green guy, the 0/3 Scrap Gorger or whatever. What do I want to get rid of? It's tricky because this card, I think I might want to go down. I don't think she generates enough value. I think she is good at insulating. I think I want to keep 2 copies because she's good at insulating against these against Invoke for my better cards. What else? Maybe I can trim a farm hand. I just don't think I ever do, because it's just so good on turn 2. It's felt very important. Maybe here I can go lower on the laydown arms. Because I think this is just the black-red. I don't know if I said it yet. It's the black-red Atraxa Reanimator deck where they play 3 Atraxas and 4 Cruelties. And they try to discard the Atraxa. Makes me wonder if I want Hearse. Maybe I only want 1 copy of Hearse. Maybe I go 1 lower on Wandering Emperor, bring in single Hearse, just in case they're not trying to do that. I don't know if Gix even targets, though. I think I'm going to do this and then look at chat after I submit. Oh, it was Grixis. You're right, you're right. You're right, it was Grixis. I'm gonna run with this. I'll leave 1 lay down arms. I think I'm still undervaluing it, but I don't know what else to cut. You're right, it was Grixis. I wasn't even paying attention to that. So it's Grixis, Cruelty of Gix Reanimator thing. Yes, it was. Alright. Oh, I guess they just stopped playing. I was tapped out. I barely even saw what happened. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's go do that land change. Do the 2-2. The Foundries have been really good with Elspeth, though, so they seem like they've really mattered in the sort of mid-range mirror. Maybe the 2-2 split is good, though. I'm low on Roadside Reliquary, though, when everyone else is pretty high numbers-wise on it. I just think this deck is good at putting cards in its hand, so... But I'm playing way more Restoration of Iganja than everyone else. I only recently went down to 3 after playing 4 for a really long time, and the slots just had to come from somewhere. Maybe I should only be on 1 Elishnorn in the main, so I can play the 4th Restoration of Iganja. It just feels very good for what this deck is doing and wants to do. Unsure. I just want to see it essentially every game and just have them always going. I'd be looking at cutting some of the top end that gets clipped by the mana leak. That's true. Yeah, it's true. I might want to trim a Emperor? Or Farewell. I have to figure out what's better in the matchup. This looks fine. I can just like start putting cards in my hand and I have an Ossification. Maybe I want to sideboard the Farewell, but the Singleton Farewell in the main just cleans up a lot of messes. I'm usually pretty glad I've drawn it. Wandering Emperor, you can flood on. Okay, I guess nobody wants to play with me. Okay, so I don't know what they are. I don't know if I just want to run it back. I don't think I can actually make any informed decisions here. So, okay. 3-mana sagas are broken. Yes, especially the ones that have a side, an extra side. Okay. I think this is also pretty good. I have Ambitious Farmhand again, and I have Wedding Announcement, and I have a removal spell. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to play Plains, and then I'm going to play Myrex on Farmhand for Farmhand. Okay, there's the Plains. And then Farmhand is going to get me another Plains. Hopefully I draw another one so I can hold the Myrex. Okay, so it looks like the Mardu deck. Oh, yeah, it's the Mardu mid-range deck. That deck's good. Oh, that's cool that it actually changes color on the table because it's active. That's neat. I really like that. Take action, find a Plains, pass. I like the dog. I don't think I want to block here. Maybe I should just to keep the board clear, but I think I want to be able to leverage the announcement. And by that I mean have enough things to attack with it to trigger it and draw a card, because I think this is going to be a very, you need to have all your cards type of game. You need to get as many cards as possible, excuse me. I like their Sundering Titan sleeves, though. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. It's really neat. What did they discard? Sanctuary Warden. Okay, so that means they're going to be trying to reanimate, potentially. They have a lot of planes, which makes me think that maybe this is the red-white deck with, I guess, some other things. I don't think I want to block here. I think I want to be able to attack. I have a feeling that the Sanctuary Warden is going to come into play, though, off of an Invoke Justice, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. And I also don't have a lot of planes. And I think I'm going to get buried by that. So, with that knowledge, do I want to block here? I still don't think I do. I think I just want to let the Goblin happen. Yeah, they're clicking on the treasure. Or at least they're hovering over the treasure. It makes me think they're actually trying to cast something. No, okay. So here I'm missing a land with bites. I'm thinking about going up to 24 lands as well. I think we just play the announcement. I probably didn't have to play this first. I think I could have attacked with 2 tokens first. I think this is just a mistake on my part to play it so soon. As opposed to letting myself go to combat first. Now I think they have had too many decision points where they were allowed to just mess me up that I can't really give away those edges. There's an Emperor with a very good card style. Okay, they're making a block.
Protect the people.
And they're going to block the farmhand. And they're going to throw away the companion. Okay. Oh, okay. They want to keep me off of a creature. And I'm going to discard... What do I want to discard here? I don't actually think the Lay Down Arms is too good here. So I think I throw that away. I really just wish I drew a land for my draw step. I will have enough planes to exile the Reflection, though. Which is pretty good. And here's where the Emperor is kind of not great. The turn after it enters the battlefield. Drawing a card. They might be trying to hit lands as well. There's the Blast Zone. There's another token.
Let your blade do the talking.
There's another treasure. Okay, we're gonna play a plains. I'm gonna lay down arms the Reflection. Ooh. I've not seen a lot of other people playing touch. I was thinking about playing a copy or two of touch, especially now that I'm on Sarah Paragon. Since once I channel it, I can actually play it from the graveyard. Which seems like a pretty good deal. Especially since I don't think a lot of people, apparently myself included, would not be expecting touch to blow out their removal. Okay, so here's the Rummage off of their Fable. What did they discard? Nahiri, who is good. Oh, okay. I do think this is the Invoke Justice deck then. because they usually have Sanctuary Ward as a main threat because it's very castable in their deck. And they usually play 1 or 2 copies of Nahiri. No, this might just be regular Mardu because you can't do anything with that. I don't know. This deck's weird. This card is good, though. It's very good. And apparently they're just going to blow up with tokens. I think I'm supposed to just crew here so I can block. I don't know if this is a trap, but they don't really have any other mana sources. So I'm going to get a favorable block at least on 1 token if they decide to get aggressive, which I do think that they might do. Whatever they're going to plus on has to be the token that they're willing to lose, because it's obviously the one I'm going to block, which means I'm going to take 6, go to 7. Ooh, they're going to use... Okay, that's cool. They're going to attack with their own.
We've got the edge in this fight.
It gets 7 damage in. Wow, if they make 2 treasures... Okay, they can't have an Abrade because otherwise they wouldn't have done this. They might have a Go for the Throat because it can't actually kill a Bankbuster. If they had an Abrade, they would just never let it block. Oh, I'm getting a Ganjo. Okay. I think I'm too far behind to play that safe, though. Play the Plains. What do I do here? I can lay down arms, the Archangel of Wrath, sit on the Wandering Emperor, and then make a token. I think that's fine. This deck... this deck also has problems with flyers, it seems like. The mono blue deck is a little difficult. It's kind of why I was interested in the Inspiring Overseers, the 3-mana 2/1 flyer that draws a card and gains a life. Okay, Saga transforms. I wonder if they're going to attack with the Bankbuster again. I may want to draw a card. I think the ideal turn for me here is they animate and attack with the Bankbuster. Wandering Emperor gets to slash it. I get to untap, use Wandering Emperor or Eternal Wanderer to blow up all their stuff. Okay, so they're just attacking with that. Do I block? Do I block with the 3/3? Or do I price myself into playing the Wanderer? I think I need to leave them... Do I leave them with a tapped creature with the Eternal Wanderer? And then use the human to kill the Emperor? I don't know why I'm thinking so hard. I think I have to do this. I think I should have declared blocks first, because I'm going to plus.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
This does blow me out. It gives me the block, but it does blow me out with a removal spell like a Braid. Draw a card looking for the Braid. No Braid.
Strike fast and strike hard.
First strike. Cool. It might have been correct just to leave them with the tapped token, though. I think that might have been a mistake, so this way I'd be able to use this human to actually kill the Wandering Emperor. Because I think I have to play this, and I have to attempt to stabilize the board. I think I minus, leave them with a Samurai. Go to combat. Attack here. Okay.
Back to wandering.
And then I'm gonna make a samurai here.
May your blade strike true.
They get to do a little digging. I'm still pretty low life total. Can the kicker angel go face? Yes. Red white with duresses. Yeah, that's possible. And the black seems kind of free in this format. And then you just get to potentially just double kicker the angel. Yeah, where's kicker angel so I can show you? I exiled it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, flying lifelink. 4 mana, 3/4, kicker black, kicker red. It just shoots for 2. Extraction specialist, get back the dog. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna crew. Still a 5/5. They're gonna touch the token, kill me? Okay. That is it, I think, right? Yeah. Okay. Mid-range mirror. I don't think I saw any black removal. I definitely want the Elspeths. It seems like they were a little vulnerable to Elshnorn, who continues to just have text in every matchup, oddly enough. I feel that, which makes me want to play more things with Enter the Battlefield effects in my deck to make the Elishnorns better. But there's just not a lot in the format, at least in Mono White. It makes me think of maybe a 2-color Elishnorn deck is good. Like, maybe just the red-white deck that we've been talking about is good. One copy of Destroy Evil. Do I want Temporary Lockdown? No, I don't think so. Do I want a Phyrexian Vindicator? I have no idea. I think they potentially have too many ways to kill it. Yeah, I don't think I want that. 4-1 and Pioneer Challenge. Nice. I think I cut one. So I don't think I'm gonna need to do many. Just go down a little bit on the Wanderer. Just cut one. And then it didn't seem like they attacked my graveyard too much. Go a little lower on an ossification, maybe. We'll run this, see what happens. Destroy Evil. You would hearse here. Okay. Yeah, touch the Spirit Realm. You can't dodge another of those angels before they die. Yeah. You'll have to take him through there, try to kill the Emperor. Yeah. Okay. I have to go first. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'll keep. Buster, Restoration's pretty good. Playing the Buster on turn 2 when you're trying to cast a turn 2 or a turn 3 Restoration is strange because then I can't activate the Buster until turn 2 or turn 4. I'm sorry, until turn 4, which is just very strange tempo-wise. Maybe you want some number of Spirited Companion then. Just because it fits in the curve, maybe it's better than the Angelic Overseer at that point. Strong hand, yeah. Hand goes long. I guess since I have a land, I can... Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the land. It's kind of awkward because I'm not gonna activate this, but this lets me cheat the second Bankbuster in. Phyrexian Missionary is really good, by the way. This also seems like another good reason to play the color combination. Red for Fable, black for just basically all the kicker cards. 2 mana, 2/3, just rebuy a creature with lifelink. Card's just very good. There's Lauren, not even sure what this is gonna hit. The Buster, which is fine. It's just very awkward. So now I don't even have to cheat it in. I can just discard the planes, rebuy the Buster, play Myrex. Next turn I can go Paragon, play land. I don't think any of these are worth a laydown arms yet. I could play the Paragon just to block. Wow, Paragon lets you play Missionary and kick it. That's really good. I think it might just be Bankbuster. Bankbuster, activate Bankbuster. I can make a blocker next turn when the Saga flips. Core Mono White Splash, Fable, hate their Black Splash. Yeah, don't hate their Black Splash. The Black Splash is so light. And yeah, I agree. It does seem like close to where we're going. And close to what you showed me before. Earlier. Fable, okay. Fable, make a token. Draw a card. Find Emperor, flip. I can play Paragon, Plains from the Graveyard, lay down arms, but I still don't think anything here is worth playing lay down arms. I would play Paragon this turn to play the Plains from the Graveyard so that I can play the 6th Plains from my hand and cast the Wandering Emperor. Also kind of puts them to the test too. They have to kill the Paragon, or I can just draw 2 cards off the Bankbuster and just hope that the top 3 cards have my 6th land, which I think might be the better option. The Paragon might just be the recovery case. Yeah. In this situation, I also get to hold up the Wandering Emperor. They could also play Eternal Wanderer on their turn post combat. Ooh, I get to draw a card. They're gonna rummage. Sorry. Discarded Mountain, it looks like. They're going to pass to attacks, which are seemingly all bad for them. We're going to let this resolve. Yeah, it looks like that's what blocks. I think I'll just block here. It's awkward because it lets them Paragon, or get it back with Paragon later. We'll have to do something about that. Play a token. Yeah, this deck seems like it potentially can be very aggressive. This is fine. I was trying to figure out which damage-based removal they have is 2. But yeah, if they do this, then I get to use the Wandering Emperor to save the Architect. Untap, use Laydown Arms on the Archangel. We're gonna plus, keep the Architect around.
I will protect my people.
I couldn't remember what 2 damage removal they had that would make my Architect open to dying. I could only think about a Braid. And I didn't think they played Play with Fire. Go to my turn. Do I make a token here or do I exile a guy? If I plus on the Architect, I get to just attack. I think I'm going to exile the Archangel anyway with Laydown Arms, so it might be a little moot. I can draw a card first, though. No, because if I miss, I can't play Wedding Announcement and Laydown Arms here. I could play Paragon, play Plains, just to keep hitting lands. This is happening, I think, regardless. Gonna go to combat. Going to attack. I think I want to get the announcement rolling, honestly. And that I can just accept missing a land. Do I want to hit the Fable token? I don't think so. If I make... I think I'll make a token. I'll make a Samurai. Make a Samurai play a Wedding.
Let your blade do the talking.
He's gonna give me a land now, or he's gonna give me a draw in my main phase. That's fine. Fable transforms. So the real reason I don't want to play a 3-color deck is because I don't want to buy the lands. I'll be honest. Can't believe they're playing a 3-color deck with Crystal Grotto and Blast Zone. That's really the most surprising part about this. I wonder how many of these are budget considerations. Not necessarily the Blast Zone, but the Crystal Grotto. And that they're just using it to fill in until they get enough wild cards for, like, the 4th Caves of Koilos or something. Alright, so there's Archangel again. I wonder if they're killing the Emperor. I wonder if that's what they're going to end up doing with this. Which makes me kind of glad that I just made the Samurai the following turn. Or the previous turn. Yeah, they are. It's always strange to me when people put so much effort into killing the Wandering Emperor. Her best turn is the first turn she comes down. Play a Plains. I wonder if I can get them to do it again. Just attack with the Architect. I can attack with the Architect and the Spirit to trigger the Wedding Announcement to draw a card instead of make a body. But it might actually just want the body on this board. Combat. I think I can actually generate bodies well enough that I don't need to use the Wedding Announcement for that. I can use it to generate cards. I can't tell if this telegraphs the Wandering Emperor or not. I wonder if I can get them to gang block again. So this way the Architect can just kill everything. They're tapped out, so I might just want to keep this token around. What am I going to do otherwise? Wandering Emperor can exile the Archangel. Yeah. Damage. Okay. I think I'm just gonna hold up everything. I don't know if I would. Maybe I play Wanderer here and just Wrath the board. Keep an Architect and let them keep Goblin Shaman, I guess. I kind of like that because I don't want to let them untap with the Reflection or the Archangel, because then the Reflection gets copied to Lauren. I think I just have to do this and just kind of reset the board. I should have attacked with all my tokens, but I honestly just didn't really plan ahead. I'm gonna keep this.
Make
They can keep this. End turn. Draw a card. Get the planes. This is pretty vulnerable to just second Lauren, destroy the Architect, attack, kill the Wanderer. But I have the backup Wanderer. I have the second Wandering Emperor. Touch. This is just cast touch. Cast touch target Architect? That's fine. I think this sucks, but I managed to make the Wanderer really kind of stabilize the board, and I feel ahead. I have 2 Bankbusters in play. I have multiple Planeswalkers and a Paragon in my hand. Play a Planes. If I play Paragon, what can I get? Nothing. I can hold up Wandering Emperor and just use Bankbuster. I want to play Elspeth, I think, on a stable board. End turn. Make a guy. Flip it. Cool. What are we doing? Blast Zone, get a charge counter. Game sound's still on? Yes. Are they even expensive? The Triomes, I think, are. Okay, so they're gonna blow up Blast Zone on Bankbuster, or they're gonna charge for another turn and try and blow up the Wedding Announcement. Blowing up the Wedding Announcement blows up the Touch the Spirit Realm as well, which gives me back the Restoration, so I don't know if that's great. So I think they're probably trying to use the Bankbuster, or blow up the Bankbusters. And they want the treasure. Okay. I'm gonna trade off here. Mostly because I think I have better stuff left over. I think I maybe should have kept the token because it's good because it's good protection for Elspeth. But I'm unsure. Worst case, I can always use Wandering Emperor. Okay. So we are going to blow up on 2. I'm gonna draw a card with this one, see what I get. I think... Alright, I have 17 minutes on the clock. I have 15. So I think I can just play for a longer game, so I just want more cards. And I just let them do that. Second Bankbuster in hand, Paragon still in hand. Blood Tide Harvester. Okay, I'm gonna play Plains. Might just play Eternal Wonder and make it 2-2. They can just use Harvester to kill the token, but then they can't attack. And the Wanderer is still in play. Seems kind of fine. Oh no, they can't because it's going to be a 3/3 because of the backside of the festivity, or the wedding announcement. The normal side of the festivity. They play second Blood Tide Harvester. Next combat, attacks, no attacks. Mardu Triumph isn't legal. I know, I'm talking about non-Mardu though. Like Grixis. Like if I ended up playing Grixis or Jund, those Triumphs are legal. And those were the, before basically the other day, the only 3-color decks that I was considering was Grixis and Jund, because I think having both Go for the Throat and Braid are really good spots to be. I think the only better spot is having also Destroy Evil. Okay, so this person just spends a lot of money on this game. Jesus. This is fine. What are they gonna do? Blink out my token?
This is our enemy.
I think I just crew here. So you still have no favorable attacks on me?
Patience.
Okay, so I can I'm 1 mana no, I can. I can play Iganjo, lay down Arms the Harvester, make a token with Wanderer, crew the Bankbuster, use Emperor to pump the Bankbuster, kill this. What rank is this? Platinum? Where's that in the scheme of things? Mm-mm-mm. Also, it's really hard to test the 3-color decks on Arena, which is where I'm doing... Yeah, they're just off it. The 3-color decks are also really difficult to test on Arena because I don't have that many wild cards. I don't think that's necessarily a reason why the monocolor decks are so prevalent and present. I think part of it is budget reasons, but also just the fact that I think they're good. I think they're just fine. But yeah, having Go for the Throat, Abrade, and Destroy Evil seems good. I don't know how you're supposed to split them though. You might. It's tough because I really just like Abrade and Destroy Evil. I'm trying to think of what they collectively miss, and I don't think it's much. The fact that Destroy Evil just hits all the sagas and Abrade just hits all the small creatures and the Bankbusters. I really do like both red and white cards in this format between the sagas and the removal. Yeah, that would be great. Because the white planeswalkers are also good. And I think the red and white removal and the red and white sagas are just all great. Finishing up Oath so you can jam. Got it. Um Trying to think of the combinations of red and white. I guess shard wise, because those are the legal triomes. Because the Martyr cards seem good, especially when the black is so light that you're basically just splashing it in the kickers. So you're never going to be able to not cast your cards. Which is, I think, really important if you're not going to have the one triome, in that it's not any hard requirements. Because it just lets you play on time. Otherwise, the other combination, I guess, is Naya. And I'm trying to figure out what green gets you. The new Nissa is good. What else? It gets you Luca, and it gets you the Scrap Gorger, which is pretty good. But maybe just red, white, light, black is kind of a better spot to be. Because I'm not really seeing too many things that you actually get from green. Because I don't think you need help with planeswalkers. I don't think the Scrap Gorger is necessarily better than something like Farmhand or Blood Tithe Harvester. Blood Tithe Harvester is probably the only black card that I would want to play. I would have to look at black cards because I just haven't looked at black cards in the format. I don't know if I want to play Shieldred because I think that's like too hard of requirements on black. I really like these only a little bit of black thing going on. Maybe Harvester is better than Farmhand. Farmhand has been very good though. Farmhand has been super good. Missionary and the Archangel. I wouldn't play Shieldred. Yeah. I think Shieldred's fine. I think the format is like adapted enough and everyone is kind of ready for Shieldred at this point. The touch looked good there, though. I do like the touches in the deck. I think a removal spread of something like 3 Abrade, 3 Destroy Evil, maybe 2 Touch the Spirit Realm for a little bit of split card action. And then you get to play Fable Saga. Oh man, this seems good. I didn't see any wedding announcements from them, and I'm kind of surprised. Because wedding announcements seemed really good every time I've cast it. It just repeatedly makes guys. What happens if you shift this list to be a little more Elshi dogs touches? I'm not opposed to that. That was something that like I kind of thought about. That was like part of why I wanted to try some Touch the Spirit Realms, and also like I was looking at that 3 mana 2/1 Angel, the one that it's the Inspiring Overseer or something. 3 mana 2/1 flyer, ETB, draw a card, gain a life. I was doing those over the dogs because I wanted something that flew, because the deck felt a little soft to flyers. And just having a 2-power flyer that can block and defend well. And also, it automatically had flying, so it carried Elishnorn ability counters really well. So just like giving it Vigilance or giving it Lifelink seemed very good, just off the bat, because it was slightly larger. But then my 3-drop slot was a little glutted. But then leaning on 3 drops more kind of led me to Sarah Paragon. So I don't know how good that is. But Paragon rebuying all these sagas seems extremely strong. Also that, oh man, that Archangel also just natively has lifelink and flying. It just seems so good. That card is actually, I think, really, really good in this format. Just shoots anything. Even Planeswalkers. I think a wedding announcement might be a trap. I could be wrong. The sagas are better. I do think the sagas are better. I think the announcements are really good because they kind of just passively make blockers, whereas like the other sagas don't. But I do think the sagas are kind of like, on the whole, a little bit more powerful than Wedding Announcement. But I also think Wedding Announcement isn't that far behind them, which is why the mono white deck I think is as good as it is because you get effectively another mono white saga. Wedding Announcement has felt like one of the more important cards in the mono white deck, and I think that's just due to just which cards are the most powerful. And it has felt like the Announcement and the Restoration to me. That said, that said, yet again, the sagas I think are more powerful than the Wedding. Sarah Paragon with Phyrexian Missionary, though, feels... It kind of reminds me of, like, Snapcaster Kolagons a little bit. Where you're not getting the second effect from Kolagons, but, like, you cast the Paragon, do something with it, then you cast Phyrexian Missionary, rebuy the Sarah Paragon, and then the missionary dies, you recast the missionary, kick it, get some other creature back, etc. It feels very kind of like kind of a contained loop that isn't infinite, but it's not like Eternal Witness Ephemerate where you just get to repeatedly do that thing, but it kind of reminds me of Snapcaster Kolagons where you do get to repeatedly loop these cards, but it is kind of like a terminating loop. My hypothesis is that nobody has found Restoration of Igonjo, and that changes a lot of math. Potentially. I've seen the red-white Invoke Justice decks playing some number of Restoration of Igonjo. Yeah, Command Loris. Playing some number of Restoration of Igonjo, and a lot of the other mono-white decks I think are on 2 copies. I've basically seen no one else on more than 2. But yeah, I'm thinking just whoever is going to find the correct deck with enough sagas in it is going to do well. And this Mardu deck actually looks really good. It looks like a really good starting point. Not even really good starting point, really good place to move to. How much of these cards do I have? Let me look at my collection. Alright. Sort. We're going to look at standard. We're going to look at everything I've collected and not collected. We're going to filter by red and white cards. Alright. So, first let's check Phyrexian Missionary, which I have 4 of, probably from drafting. But it's an uncommon, so I could craft it. What else? Companion is a common. Looking for the Archangel. I'm going to craft another touch because I have 300 uncommon wilds. Okay. The one card that I've been playing with, though, that I haven't seen other people playing with necessarily is Elishnorn, and that one has been very good. Okay, I have 1 of the Archangel Wrath, which bites because I don't have a lot of rares. Getting to play this card would be cool, though. And an RC. I like how she looks mentally unwell. I feel like I can really relate to this one. Go to the red cards. I think I have 4 Fables on Arena. I think I crafted them because I wanted to play black-red with the what's-his-face, Obnixils. And I never really did it because it wasn't. I couldn't find a list that was particularly good, and I stopped caring. Do I not have Fable? Nope, I passed it. Cool. Yep. Okay, I have all 4 Fables, which is a good start. And I guess we go to the lands now. Oh no, I look at Harvester. Okay. And I'm going to turn off the card styles again for the 1000th time. There's 4 Hidetsugus and Obnixilus. I guess you could play Hidetsugu. This might be a good sideboard card for the red deck, because there are a lot of one mana aggressive creatures. Swift Spears in standard. There's a Kumano Saga that is really good that they play. Archangel gets Elished. That's very true. Yeah. That honestly, oddly enough, Elishnorn feels like the one card that other people haven't necessarily found. Because I haven't really seen it in results, and every time I've put it in play, aside from like dying to go for the throat, which I knew about going in, it just seems like very impactful. Like it's stopped Bloodtithe Harvester from making blood. It just seems like it's stopped like quite a bit. How does Elish interact with sagas? It doesn't. Vorinclex interacts with sagas. It stops them from getting counters. Does it make them go off quicker? No. No. Vorinclex does. That's always the one, like, a lot of people end up asking that because I'm always bringing up Elishnorn. But yeah, she does not impact sagas because Vorinclex does, and they don't impact the same things. I think it would be weird if there were 2 Praetors that interacted with sagas. But fortunately, only the first one does. Yeah, she interacts with all the Oblivion Rings, all the little tiny value creatures. I think one of the other cards that people did find, though, that is showing up and is kind of like a must-answer threat. I think it's good with Shieldred, actually, is the Glissa. Because the Glissa comes down and it dies to a lot of things. If you don't kill it, though, it does kind of just start eating away at the opponent's board. But if they end up killing it, it kind of clears the way for Shieldred. I always hate that kind of argument, but that is usually how the games will play out. Is this one no-value creature clears the way for the second no-value creature, but the Shieldred will end the game so much faster. Or it'll just end the game very quickly. Glissa might end up being poor, though, because I think it dies to too many things. dying to go for the throat and a braid and strangle is not great, and all of the white removal, barring I guess destroy evil, but that's only like that's more in the sideboard if anything. I don't know. Maybe once I move away from a lot more clean white removal, the Blissa becomes more threatening. I think that's very possible. Mm. But the, I think the Mardu list is just like the more we talk about it, it just seems so good. Oh, the Phyrexian Missionary gets doubled with Elshnorn 2. And playing more colors opens me up to having access to more creatures with good enter the battlefields. Whereas in white, I'm a little constricted in what actually can benefit from an Elshnorn. I think there is a more... Yes, I think so too. Yeah, really, the more we sit here and talk about it, the more I'm annoyed because I'm going to have to craft Haunted Ridge. What do I got? I opened 2 Black Cleave Cliffs, which is more than I thought, which is surprising. I have some Sulphurous Springs. I have 4 Haunted Ridge because I must have had an aneurysm somewhere along the way. Where's the red-white ones? I have 0 Battlefield Forge. I have 2 Sundown Pass. Okay. Because we're definitely going to be base red-white. And then we also have to play enough white lands, or just basic plains, to find off of Restoration of Igonjo. Where is... Could technically play Blade Coil Serpent. Just as a Mind Twist haste threat. I think that's bad, though. Or not bad, I think that's just... I could do better. I don't own any Xander's Lounge on here. Where's the Naya one? I don't own any Naya ones either. I barely drafted that set. That's not surprising that I don't have any of these. Oh no, that's the Naya one. What's this one? Oh, it's the Jund one. I don't have that either. Okay. What black whites? They're focusing on shards, not wedges, because that's where the mana... Oh, okay. I'm reading your messages backwards. Most people are looking because the Triome is not in standard. I agree. Black whites. Where is... The collection system on Arrange is not great. It's very disappointing. Oh, we get to play Attack-Anuma. That's pretty cool. Okay. I have 4 Shattered Sanctum somehow, and 1 Caves. Okay, so we're not too far off. Yeah, we're not too far off. I wonder if there's any... Oh, we could play an Edgar, I guess. Maybe this is just the wedding announcement that we want. Just like a single copy of Edgar to recur with the Phyrexian Missionaries. Maybe we get to play a Kaya in the sideboard, because I think this card is actually pretty good. I think it's good, it's just 7 mana. Single Kaya in the sideboard might be pretty good. Just looking at the other options I have in black-white. I haven't looked at any colors, basically, outside of mono-white at all. I don't think we're a Rite of Oblivion deck. I don't think we're a Can't Stay Away deck that I own 4 of, unfortunately. I crafted that, don't want to talk about it. Play Lyessa. Lyessa's pretty good. This might be getting too fancy, though. I think single Edgar is potentially a good inclusion. Especially if we have so many Phyrexian Missionaries to loop a single copy. I think a sideboard Kaya is pretty good. I think this one's actually good. I think this is actually a good card. I think I can close a game pretty fast. Plusing to 8 is just huge. I'm also skeptical of the double black pips, mostly from just how opponents met. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I really want to be pretty close to red white, like gently touching black, essentially for the kicker cards. I'm just letting myself get tricked. I forgot this was a card. Kaya Geist Hunter. Creatures you control gain Death Touch until the end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter up to one target creature token you control. And then until end of turn, you doubling season. Exile all cards from all graveyards. Make a flyer. Creature card exiled this way. I should buy 4 copies of this and do something with it in Modern. This card's just cool. I love horrible 3-mana Planeswalkers, frankly. But yeah, there's... I don't know why there's so many good white cards with black kicker in the Dominaria set. Especially since I don't think black-white kicker was like an archetype. Or anything even remotely that was an archetype. Legions to Ashes is a weird card. Give me a real quick rundown of the format. Okay. So there are basically any shard mid-range deck. There is Esper that is kind of like Esper Legends. I'm assuming they're on some number of Skrelv at this point, but it's mostly a deck defined by Rafine. And I think they have some amount of Denic, the blue-white 2/3 with Disturb. His lifelink, and he allows you to not. He makes you not target cards in graveyards. Rafine, I think, is the most defining card of that deck, the Esper deck. There's Grixis, which is Grixis good cards. They have a lot of good removal. They have a lot of good threats like Blood Tithe Harvester, Shieldred, Corpse Appraiser. What else? The removals, the Blade Coil Serpent, and Invoke Despair. That's an Invoke Despair deck. I think Esper might also have some amount of Invoke Despair as well. Then there's the Jund deck that we saw earlier. That one I think is picking up a little more. I don't know particularly why. I think it's just been underappreciated because I think a lot more people have been gravitating towards Esper and Grixis. And you saw a lot of what was going on in that deck. The Scrap Gorger, a lot of the same black-red cards. Nissa. This has actually been surprisingly good. Surprisingly and unsurprisingly. 7-mana card, kind of tough to justify. Plus make a token and minus naturalize, and only doing it in increments of 1 in both directions. I think it's really good. I think the most important cards in the format are, and those are just the mid-range decks, I think, and a lot of them are on very similar cards of like Fabled Mirror Breaker, Reckoner Bankbuster, Wedding Announcement. The removal that I kind of pay attention to is like Fading Hope, Cut Down, Lay Down Arms, Strangle, Abrade, Destroy Evil, Go for the Throat. The removal's really good right now, but the threats are really good. I think the format is in general pretty good. I've seen some people playing with blue-white control, and I've seen people doing the mono-white control deck, splashing for some of the blue cards that the Grixis and the Esper deck get, like Negate, Make Disappear. I think Disdainful Stroke is in the format as well. And I've seen some people playing a couple copies of Jace in those decks, or the 5-mana Teferi from Brothers War. I've only seen it show up lightly. I think the more important things that they're getting there are the counter magic rather than the Planeswalkers. You've seen most of the white cards that I've been talking about out of the mono-white control or mid-range deck. The aggro decks, there are multiple Atraxa decks. There's the Red White Invoke Justice deck, which is a big score into Atraxa, usually in some form or fashion. They also play Fable and I believe Restoration. They have a lot of the 3-mana Searing Spear removal between Cathartic Pyre and Abrade. What else? There's the black-red version, which is kind of a, it just looks like a black-red mid-range deck or Grixis mid-range deck that plays Cruelty of Gix to reanimate Atraxa. I'm assuming that they're using Fable to rummage the Atraxa in the graveyard. Um, I haven't been playing too much Standard in the past week to see too much, and I'm not paying attention to a lot of those lists in the dumps, the deck dumps. Um, Aggro deck wise, there's Mono Blue. There's Mono Blue Tempo. It plays like Spell Pierce, Essence Capture, Fading Hope, along with the Jin from Dominaria, and Tolarian Terror, and Delver of Secrets. Those are kind of the standouts there. I think they play Negate and Make Disappear as well. Make Disappear maybe a little less so. Negate, I think I have seen. And I'm assuming they have Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard as well. There's a mono red deck that just is a lot of 1-mana guys. They have that Saga that I mentioned before, Kumano. And they have Monastery Swiftspear. And if I hadn't said that. And there's Phoenix Chick, and I think there's another aggressive 1-drop from 1. They're very heavy on 1-mana creatures. And and Play with Fire, which is a shock variant. There's the Blue-White Soldiers deck, which is pretty good as well. Has some 1-mana guys it'll play. I believe the most recent development people have been talking about is Blue-White Soldiers splashing spell. Not splashing, but the only non-creature they play, I think, is Spell Pierce in the sideboard, maybe some copies in the main. I can't really list off a lot of the cards there because they're all just like pretty specific, and I think a lot of them came out in like Dominaria and Brothers War. But they're all pretty good, and they include Thalia because Thalia was printed in Crimson Vow. And the last deck I would mention is Green-White Toxic. I think that was really an early in the format kind of deck. I have not seen it in too many dumps recently, and it might just need a little work. But I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I don't expect to play against it, but it is still out there to my knowledge. I don't think there's many other decks. Let me pull up Goldfish real quick. Decks, metagame, standard. Yeah, that's pretty much it, as far as I know. There's also mono black decks. I forgot about that. The Esper decks have a few variants. I think there's like Esper, just good cards, and then there's Esper, I'm going to play a lot of legendary creatures. But that's mostly where the format's at right now. So, with that said, I think something between these mid-range 3-color decks and the like just that red-white stuff seems very good. But those are mostly the constraints. I would say that the Grixis deck and the Esper deck are the most controlling in the format. Maybe the mono-white deck too, depending on how you want to build it and kind of look at it. I think getting too top-heavy leads you to, depending on a couple spells, specifically too much, and it makes you softer to the blue counter magic in the format. Like trying to be like too hard, like mono-white control. It also, I think, makes you very bad against the mono blue tempo deck. Because you're just too... You just get blown out by, I think, Spell Pierce and Make Disappear too much. Oh, I've also played against a blue-black poison deck that looks like someone's draft leftovers in a deck. That matchup was really hard with mono-white because I could never clock them. I could never clock them fast enough, and they drew really, really, really well. And they played the prototype guy, the prototype Snapcaster Mage, to just recast the you get a poison counter, draw a card spell. And they drew like multiple copies of it in their top 15 cards. It was very silly. I just realized I had someone gave me a code the other night at F&M for some packs or something. It says additional rewards. I don't know what that constitutes, but we're gonna find out. 5A 75C F3C 7, 7, 6, 4, C, 1, D, C, 9, 5, 2, 4, 2, 4, 0. Cool. A single pack. The reward system in this game is so generous. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Alright, so now we got 3 rare wild cards to go towards this horrible 3-color mana base. / turn into more Archangel Wraths. Heavily proliferate. Yeah, it made up the fact that there's not enough cards to say you get a poison counter with just the proliferate cards, like the proliferate impulse and Drown in Ichor, the -4/-4 proliferate thing. Yeah, opening a rare wild card is just the best thing you can open at pretty much any point during playing the game. Ugh. Ugh. I hate building mana bases in this format as well. Or just 3-color mana bases in Standard. Standard. Plague Nurse. So I guess what are our cards? I'm gonna filter. Red, black, white, not collected, standard. Okay. So I'm gonna have to tab in and out. Right, so I'm gonna put Farmhand in the deck. I'm just gonna put cards that we could play or are interested in playing. I was playing this for a while. I don't think it's tenable anymore, and I cut it from mono white. But I think it's fine. It ended up pretty fine. Just as a decent way to board in more removal for creatures, but also have it not be terribly dead when they play just turn 2 Saga Knife and misevaluated what they're playing. What else? We play Fateful Absence. I think this might just be worse than many other options that we have. Destroy Evil. I like that card. What else? One of those decks we were looking at earlier had Intrepid Adversary. I think this is just too low impact. Or I just don't think this is what we want to be doing in the deck that we're playing. But it's kind of nice that I have some. Ossification is out because we don't have enough basics now, I don't think. Or at least we don't have enough basics consistently. Missionary, I think, is good. Where's Lantern Flare? X damage to target creature or planeswalker and gain X life. X is number. I don't understand Cleave cards still. Remove the words in the square bracket. I don't understand this card still. I don't understand. I don't know. I hate Cleave. I think it is one of the worst kickers they've ever made. It is so. It feels so artificial. In that it just is very overly complicated for almost no reason at all. Maybe I'm just too small-brained to understand the genius of Cleave. That must be it. Hive, I have tried. And I thought it was going to be good in matchups that are kind of mid-rangey. But I don't think it could exert enough pressure, and it ate a lot of sideboard slots and kind of made sideboarding a little tricky. Because it just seemed like it came in too many times and but still wasn't better than what else I was doing. What else? I'm also not looking at the grayed out cards as much as I should. because that was the point of filtering by cards that I own and don't own. I've seen some people play a Brutal Cathar on the sideboard. I don't know if it's better than other things though. Like I don't know if it's better than Touch the Spirit Realm. I don't think I'm aggressive enough to kind of leverage the fact that it has power. Lauren is good. Put Lauren in the good card pile. This is the card I was talking about. It gains a life and draws a card and flies. Just a lot to like, I think. But 3 mana is just such a contested slot these days. There's Restoration, favorite, Touch, that I like. Wedding announcement, I think I'm going to leave out where it exists, though, so it doesn't have to be in plain sight. Lockdown, I'm just going to put one in the sideboard, because I don't want to forget about it. Because that card's pretty good against the... oh, here's the Archangel. The Lockdown is pretty good against the Soldiers deck and the Red deck. And I think you do need to potentially appropriately respect it. Or else you will lose to it. Because it also has a really good top end, and it has Squee at the 3-drop slot, and it has the Raiju or something at the 4. And they both have haste. There's a lot of haste in the Red deck right now. All their stuff is just like sized way too small. Or much smaller. Where's the Punching You card? The sideboard card I was looking for earlier for the Red deck. Where is that? The one that costs less if it targets a red creature. There it is, Knockout Blow. Okay, cool. One of those, don't want to forget about it. Welcoming Vampire. Befriending the Moths. Hallowed of Haunting. Okay, so there's Emperor. Phyrexian Vindicator, which I likely will not be able to play, but I want to keep it in mind. Paragon, which I don't know if it'll make the cut. I think some number will make the cut. I could put AO in the good card pile, but I don't think it. I don't think that's going to end up being played. I cut it from the mono white deck. Just felt like a little too difficult. Put Elishnorn or Elspeth there. Elishnorn in a good card pile. There's Invoke Justice. I don't actually know why I have 4 of that. I think I just drafted them. Wanderer, I think it's still good enough to play. March, not sure. Farewell, we'll put it in the pile. Igonjo is probably going to be a given, so I'm going to leave it out for now. I'm not going to touch the lands. Black cards, this is going to be pretty quick. Oh, we can play Cut Down in the sideboard for the aggro matchups. That one's actually pretty good. That might be one of the only mono black cards we play. I don't think I want Duress. I'm pretty underwhelmed every time Duress is cast against me. Dreams of Steel and Oil actually I think is kind of okay. I've seen some people playing a copy or 2 of this in Jund and maybe the Grixis deck? I think I've seen it in Jund, though, for sure. I'll put Go for the Throat in the pile. I don't think that's going to make the cut, though. I've looked at the Black Sagas. There's not really any good ones. I actually even looked at Tribute to Harabi. But I think it's just too easy to let them... for them to take the tokens and then kill it with Destroy Evil or something before I can actually flip it and do something with it. I don't think I want Underdog. I don't think I want Virus Beetle. Children's Edict, maybe, only because it's so flexible. Maybe just a single copy. That might be like one of the only mono black cards I end up playing. It's just like one copy of Children's Edict. I've had it cast against me. It always seems like it does just enough. But I've never been overly impressed by it. But I might just be too soft to Planeswalkers to not... with Abrade and Destroy Evil being my main removal, that I just need one. Very unsure. Mm-mm-mm. I have enough I have 4 Graveyard Trespassers for Gixes if we end up going that route. Death to the Commies. Medium. I like it in Pauper, though. For no reason. I have the Lilianas. Liliana, I think, is maybe fine. I think it's going to be too heavy on black for what I'm going to be looking to do with Restoration and Fable. But it exists, and it's good. Soul Transfer, same thing. A little too heavy on black, but I think it's good. Maybe I'll like click on one copy. Maybe we can just end up playing a single one. Likely, though, no. I think just Phyrexian Missionary and Sarah Paragon end up being similar but better. Yeah, I'm really thinking that just trying to stretch the mana and play all these black cards is just not the way to go. Flesh Gorger, Vraska, maybe Vraska's fine. I don't think I want to go too high on other Planeswalkers. I would need one to be a little more compelling. Takenuma, not going to bother clicking on it. Probably end up playing that, though. But I just think we don't have to look at it now. Now we're on the red cards. There's Kumano faces the Kakazan. Yeah, this one's good. Next creature gets bigger, deal 1 damage to each guy. And then everything becomes Pillar of Flames or Magna Sprays, I guess. And it's just a 2/2 with haste. There's the Strangles that I was talking about. Voldaren Epicure, Voldaren Stinger. Yeah, I drafted too many of those. Bloodthirsty Adversary is actually pretty interesting. That is an interesting one. That might be good. There's a Braid. Change the card style. Okay, so there's a Braid. I wish I could use the other Braid. Surprised that's not actually in the format. The Hour of Devastation ones. Amonkhet Remastered must not have had it. Okay. The Braid and Destroy Evil. Goro Goro. Without Satoru. Oh yeah, Obliterating Bolt exists. Does kill Planeswalkers. The card might be fine. Oh, we have Lightning Strike. Card that's been pushed out so hard. It's probably still fine, honestly. I just think it occupies the Abrade slot too much, and you need to be able to interact with that with non-creature card types in this format. Don't know why I have this many wrong Belt Lord Masters. What else? Fable. Fable for sure. The other red cards seem fine. Dragon Engine's pretty cool. Dragon Engine. Might be interesting to play a Mishra deck. Huh. Choose 3. What is the front side? What does the Mishra look like? I don't even remember. Get Giant. Dragon War is actually pretty good. Dragon War is interesting because I don't think it actually kills any of our creatures besides Lauren. And the tokens? Huh, that's kind of interesting. I'll put it in the sideboard. Might be a sideboard card. Oh, Thundering Raiju. This is the deck. This is the card that the mono red decks top out at. It's very good. Deals damage. It gives counters and deals damage to each opponent. Moonveil region. I remember people were excited about that when it first came out. It ended up not doing too much. Kind of falling to the wayside. Interestingly. The Shattered States era. Oh, this is common. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Just on power level, probably. Skitterbeam Battalion is another card that's pretty good. That also doubles off Hellish Norn. Interestingly. That might be good. I wish there were more control and artifact control and enchantment synergies from Kamigawa. Maybe March of Machines will have one. As it stands now, though, very unfortunate that there's not more support for that. Red Sun's Twilight. Okay. I couldn't remember what it did. Oh, this is Dennick. This is the Esper plays this card. I think it's just good. Just always gives you something to do. There's the black-white cards. I'll put an Edgar into the maybe pile. It's probably not going to make a cut. I liked this card too on release of Capenna. Very cool. Yeah, I really like it. Tyvar can rebuy it. I think that's interesting. And they already share a color, so it's not too much of a stretch. You're probably too cute. Lyessa, Kaya in the sideboard, probably a little too cute, in all honesty. And I think we just might go long pretty well. Scrolling. Blood Tithe Harvester. Change the card style. Put that in the deck, because I think that card actually just is good as well. Are there any other? Heated Sugu on the sideboard might be good. Okay, so I do have a Mishra. It's just a guy, whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life, gain X life, or X number of attacking creatures. If they're both attacking, flip them and attack. Okay, just a 9/9. 3 damage, Mind Rot, destroy an artifact or planeswalker, Menace Trample. That's pretty good. Make 2 Power Stone tokens, or -1/-1 for them. You pick 3. This seems powerful. It seems really good. Seems like a lot of work. I don't know how much work it actually is, considering both cards are pretty good on their own. They might just not ever line up, but you'd definitely be playing the coolest deck if you were playing this at the RC. Olivia. This card's good. Seems a little vulnerable, but it dies to destroy evil. Seems tough for a 6-mana card that isn't going to generate value. What else? What else? Going into the 3-color cards. I think I've seen Nimble Larcenist show up in some sideboards. I don't know why, or if I'm looking at the right decks. I think it was the 5-color Invoke decks, or the 5-color Traxa decks. There were Fiends, Voidrend. I think they've played... I don't know, I haven't seen Esper just on the ranked ladder recently. There's Xander. What else? Corpse Appraiser. Also a vampire. Notably for any sort of Sorin stuff that I've been thinking about lately. I don't think I've seen any Bant decks. That's the shard I always forget about. That and Naya, because they just aren't really showing up. A little surprising. Very interesting. This cost 5. Trample Haste is really good. Making 2/2s is just fine. Hmm. ETB, good with Fable. Very interesting. Interesting that Fable, the backside of Fable is not good with Archangel Wrath or Phyrexian Missionary, but those cards are very good with Elish. These cards seem like they're supposed to go together. If you're going to abuse ETB stuff. Maybe that's a reason to not include Edgar, because we just want to do more ETB stuff, but then the opposing Elish Norns get really poor for us. What else? Very unsure. I think Bloodthirsty Adversaries might be like one of those cards that goes in this deck. Recopy, reuse Abrade, Edict, go for the throat, destroy evil. It's 3 mana or less. Makes Soul Transfer seem pretty good. I wonder if there's a couple other red or white 3 mana instants or sorceries that we can play to really kind of exploit Bloodthirsty Adversary. This doesn't work. Cut down, medium. What's it called? I know there's one. Also has haste. It just gets bigger every time you kick it. I don't think this doubles up with Elish Norn either. This is good with backside of Fable because you can just make a copy and then it's an enter the battlefield trigger. It's pseudo kicker, so it acts like kicker, but the way it's worded, it actually benefits from Fable, which is kind of cool. Instant sorcery costs 3, standard in those colors. Let's look, and then I'm gonna probably wrap up. Vanish into Eternity. The kill spells might just be good. Just be good enough. Hero's Downfall. Downshifted. Unreal to me. Path of Peril. Path of Peril might be better against the aggressive decks than Lockdown. Or, at the very least, Hidetsugu. I'll put one of these on the sideboard. I actually didn't look at that. Brotherhood's End. That's a pretty good one, especially if you kick it twice. Then you actually get to keep the body, because it'll get the 2+1/+1 counters. That's interesting. Corpse Explosion? Exile a creature card from your graveyard? Damage to the exiled card's power to each creature and planeswalker. Is that something? Is that something? That's interesting. How's that Corpse Appraiser rider? I don't think I can have anything big enough die soon enough. Hitting each seems not great. I wonder if destroying artifacts matters in this format. Unsure. Very unsure. What do the 2 mana ones look like? It might just be right to focus on 2s. Revelry. Revelry is probably a good one to copy with the Bloodthirsty Adversary. That might be a reason if I'm playing Bloodthirsty Adversary to play that over Knockout Blow. Especially if I have so many other removal spells that are good at instant speed, I might not need Knockout Blow. And the Adversary might actually incentivize me to play the Revelry. That's interesting. Play Parasitic Grasp, too. That Cleave. With that Cleave stuff that I don't understand. That one's probably a pretty good choice, actually, against the Soldier's deck. That might be better than a lot of the other options. Might be a reason not to play Cutdown. Because Cutdown also is not super great, as far as I can tell, against the Mono Blue deck. Which, going back to the Mono White deck, the laydown arms are better there. Because they're a lot more agnostic. I You don't care about as much, just mana value. So cut down might just be pretty bad. Even against the aggressive decks, which is a shame. Fatal Grudge. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control that shares a card type with sacrifice permanent sacrifices, and you draw a card. That's odd. I thought that card would be better too. I thought it would at least try and show up. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. We're going to save an exit, just leave that kind of float. And I think that's going to be it for tonight. For me. Check Messenger for Rough Draft. Yeah, I saw it pop up. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you were still here. I wasn't sure if anyone was still here. I don't think anyone is. I don't know how many viewers I have. I don't know how actually to check that. I really need to like fix my streaming setup. I need to get another monitor, get a better headset or microphone, and figure out a better OBS setup. Wait. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping in and talking, and I will be around. So, how do I end my stream?